Assalamu alaikum. Time to create this Visual Studio calculator for your exam. So I want you to click on all programs and then select Visual Studio 2015. Make sure it's Visual Studio 2015 and not the Blender version, not this one here. Okay, so file, new project. This is exactly what you have to do for your exam. Make sure you select Visual Basic from the left hand side and Windows Form Application. Change the name to your name. Click on Browse and then click on Desktop. Create a new folder. So for your exam you might have to call it exam your name, but for this instance we're just going to call it your name again, or my name in this case. So Harun, and then select folder. Press OK. Right, so whilst we wait for this, I'm just going to show you, minimize this. There's the folder here, and there's the folder, and if you want to open it next time, you just click on this, double click on this, it will open it. Right, so back on this one here, so we can, as you can see here, you have the toolbox and you have the solution explorer and the properties section here. If you don't have this, you can click on window and then reset Windows layout. Press yes, and you will notice these two are here. The toolbox is always down here. You can pin it using this pin here to make sure it's always there whilst you're working here. If you don't see it, you click on view and then toolbox. Yep. So let's just say we'll close this and it's not there. Click on view, toolbox. As you can see, it's here now. Yeah, so you need this toolbox and this property section. I do not want you to change form1.vb, so leave this section alone for the meanwhile. So we just leave this one. So right, for the calculator you will need 4 buttons, so you just select the button from here and then you can draw the button on the form. This is called the form. Right, we can just copy this 4 times, copy and paste. Right, so 4, 3 and 2. Right, so we can highlight all these like this and just move them together. So this blue line basically means that they are parallel to each other. There. Right, I need 2 text boxes which you can find in further down. This is in alphabetical order, so you need A, B, C, D all the way down to Z if it has got. So 2 text boxes. So you can just copy this again and paste rather than selecting the text box again. And I need 3 labels. So the label can be found a bit further up here. And again. Right, so these 2 labels, you change the label text here, it will change what's inside here. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm going to call this first number. So this is where our first number is. So this is just to let the people who are going to use a calculator, this is where you need to put your first number. Yeah. So this is going to be respectively, this is going to be second number. As you see, it changes. Let's just align these with box. Right, so this one, as we said earlier, you're going to change the text. It will change what it says in here. Remember, text is what you see on the graphical interface. So plus. Yeah, I use it. It'll change this one to minus. This one to divide, and this one we will use X to signify times. Right, now we're going to change the name of the box. So name of the box. So this one, you don't look for text, you look for name. Remember, each detail I'm telling you now will give you 1 mark. So this actually just naming it txt1 and txt2 respectively for this box will give you 2 marks, 2 easy marks. Again, right, so I want to label this label 3. I'm going to call it, change the name to LBL result, because our result will go inside here. Right, so as you can see, if I select this button, it's still called button 1. We don't need to change the name. If you want to, you can. So label 3 LBL result. Yep. Right, so we finished the graphical element side of it now. Right, so I want you to double click on this, yeah, or right click on this and view code. 2 ways of doing it. So I'll just show you view code. Yeah. Right. So as you can see here, you have the graphical element and you have the code window. Yeah. Right. So I'm going to go back in here and show you the other way. So double click on this. It will say button 1 under click. This basically means any code under this button, well, someone has to click on this for this code to work here. Right. But before we do that, I want you to use the variable. So we're going to give these names. So these ones names. So we always put that under form 1. Do not mess around with form 1. Leave this as it is. So all we do is write underneath here by clicking on enter after form 1. Yeah. So we're going to write dim. This is the way you write the program. So dim number 1 as integer. Basically we're saying dim number 1 as integer. We are saying number 1, box number 1, this one is integer, is just basically a number. So we are saying you can only put numbers in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So we're going to do the same with the second box. So dim number 2 as integer. Without this, your program will not work and you will lose a lot of marks. So you have to remember this code. So dim answer as integer. Yeah. As you can see, they have got no lines underneath them. If I delete this, just call it integer. You see there's a red line underneath. That means it's wrong. So that means you have to fix it. So as you can see here, yeah. Okay, so we have declared our variables. These are called variables. We are going to use them in the program. Yeah. Right. So I'm going to go back on here, double click on this button, and make sure I am in the right section. So now I'm going to say number 1, which I declared here on the top, is anything that goes in the first box. So what do we call our first box? txt1. And we know it's going to be text inside here. Any number, anything like that is called text. Yep. So number 2 again equals txt2.text. Yeah. Right. So button 1 was the plus sign. Yeah. So we're gonna say answer equals number 1 plus number 2, because that's what we're gonna do. Yeah. Oh, can you see there's a problem here? You will not recognize it, but remember there's a problem. Number 1 plus number 1? No, it's number 1 plus number 2. Because what we will do is only add this one. So if I put 5 here, it will say 5 plus 5. Yeah, we don't want that. We want any number inside here plus any number inside here. Right, so where are we going to put the answer? Remember, the answer is going to go in the label called result. So LBL result. As soon as you type it in, this is called IntelliSense. it will allow you to recognize, oh, he's got a label that's called LBL result, so we just double click on it. LBL result dot text equals the answer, so the answer is going to go inside here. Yep. So this is for the plus button. Okay, I will just show you again. So you click on this one. If I want to change the name, just for here, I'm going to call it BTN plus. BTN stands for button, short name for button. In programming we use short names. Right, I'll just show you again. I've just called it. Yeah, so BTN plus, can you see it says changes here? This will let you know this button is only for the BTN plus. So I know this code is for the plus. Okay, how do you run it? So you click on start. You should always check if the first button is working. So let's just check the first button working. Right, so 23 plus 23, 46, we know the answer, but let's just check. Click on the plus. 46 answer. Yeah, so we can stop it by clicking on here or the stop button. I'll just show you that way. Yeah. Right, so all we have to do now is copy this. Go back on the design view, double click on the minus, yeah, and paste. Change the sign. Yeah, so all we're doing is double clicking on the button. We'll do it again. This is for the divide. Paste, change it, divide. Again, let's do the times, but the times we use the star. So paste, we don't use the X, we use the shift and 8, the star. Remember, each one you will get a mark for, so we need to make sure they all work. So go back and check it. So let's just put 8 and 2. So 8 plus 2 is 10, 8 minus 2 is 6, 8 divided by 2 is 4, 8 times 2 is 16. Yeah, so we know it's working. Okay, right. So really I don't want anything in here because this does not, label 3 does not mean anything. So what we could do now is change the text to nothing. So delete that. So you won't be able to see that. But if I click on start, 8 and 2, you see that it's always gonna show up anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, right, so the new part we're gonna show you is the close button. Rather than clicking on this one, so button 1, we change the text property here to close. Yeah, so double click on the close, and this is the only code that you need to remember, me.close. Yeah, we'll automatically put these brackets in for you. So let's just check it. Start. 8, 2. We don't need to check this one. Let's just check. You see this problem here because the button, the answer is underneath here. I'm just going to just move that around. So let's just move the close here. Yep. Now rather than clicking on this one, I can just click on the close. You see, it closes everything. In your exam, I want you to put a label on the top, in the corner, and change it to your name. So Harun, let's just say you are in M2. Yeah, and you can change the font from here. Let's just say I want to put in bold and use this and change it to 16. Press OK. Can you see? It clearly says it's your work. Yeah, and then you can just click on all this, save all. Yeah, or Control Shift S. Yeah, so just click on this. Then all you do is then you are basically you've completed everything. It's got your name, the working calculator. You just need to make sure everything here is as you see here. Yeah, so you will be getting marks for every section you do, so just make sure it works before you close. So that's it for this calculator. Thank you very much and goodbye.